The guy I'm fighting next is the most dangerous guy that I'm ever going to have to fight. Look at the top 10 now. I've beaten 6 of them. My goal is to beat 10.
What is now going to happen in your career going forward in the heavyweight division?
We've got a date, we've got an opponent to work towards. Everything's good. And I can finally get my career going again.
This is technically our first conversation on camera. He's the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world.
On camera. Let's just pretend we didn't just see each other for about 3 nights in a row in Vegas. But yeah, on camera.
There's lots to explore over the last year in particular. And I know that it was never about Jon Jones, but I'm going to start there because people watching this will probably want a line on the Jon Jones thing, and then I want to concentrate the rest of the conversation about you and what is now going to happen in your career going forward in the heavyweight division. All right? What are your feelings towards him?
First of all, thanks for keeping it short because I have said that I'm not going to speak about it anymore. My feelings towards him, I just wish him all the best. Genuinely wish him all the best. If he feels satisfied with what he's done, which he's saying he is, and he's happy to leave like that, then I genuinely wish him all the best.
Do you think that is it?
I don't know him. Don't know him at all. Met him once. Don't know anything about him, so I don't know.
So it's for sure.
It was short and sweet, thank you.
No, but you can understand that has been quite a huge part of the narrative over the last 12 months. And a lot of fight fans will have their attitudes as to why that decision has been made and what have you. I kind of agree with you. At the end of the day, with the legacy that he's had and what he's done in the sport, he has the right to make a decision for himself. Personally, as a fight fan, I just wish that he'd done it a little bit earlier, so therefore we wouldn't have had that narrative over the last 12 months, because I can imagine it's been incredibly frustrating for you from a personal point of view and a professional point of view as well.
Yeah, I just wanted to, I feel like a broken record, I keep banging up, but all I wanted to do was fight. I just wanted to fight. I've not been to work, mate, for nearly a year. I know people see me online and doing all the rest of it, but my main job is fighting people. That's what I do. I've not done that for almost a year, and none of it has had anything to do with me.
Right, perfect. This is where I want to go with, right? Because I think a lot of people have an understanding of you. I'd like to say that obviously we spent a bit of time, so I kind of like to get inside your head a little bit more and pick the little things that go on inside. How have you dealt with that? Because I remember speaking to you during the time that you were out injured with your knee. Mm-hmm. That was a tough challenge from a psychological point of view.
Yeah.
This is different because when you're out with your knee, it's on me now. I'm going to get fit and get my knee back and we're going to get rocking and rolling. The last 12 months hasn't been kind of on you. So how was that a different mental challenge?
And I can say this now that it's over, because the thing with me, when I'm in difficult situations, I try not to complain about it as much. This last year has been more difficult than the year I had out with the knee. Because when I had the knee, like I say, it's on me. I used to go religiously and work with my physio at least once a week, sometimes twice, sometimes 3 times. But say I went on a Monday, he would say to me, right, by next Monday, you need to be able to, squat down past 90 degrees. You need to be able to jog for 2 minutes. You need to, whatever the thing was, he would give me a little goal for the week after. And all the next 6 days between physio appointments, I would be working towards the goal. Now, for the last 10, 11 months, I've not really, the goalposts just kept changing all the time.
Yeah.
It was there. First of all, we were supposed to fight in, the date kept changing. Yeah. I can't remember exactly. Excuse me. But it was always like, I was supposed to fight, no, needs more time. Supposed to fight, no, needs more time, supposed to fight. And that was just tough because I just couldn't get any routine together, which is difficult.
How people are obviously talking to you about it constantly all the time as well. And the frustrating part of not having answers, again, must be incredibly challenging from a mental point of view.
Yeah, it's like anywhere I would go, anything I would do, it'd be like, when you fighting Jon? I was like, mate, I'd love to tell you. I'd love to know myself. So I don't know, I was just kind of like a dangling carrot constantly for nearly a year. So I'm glad that's over.
What is the emotion now? Because we do have clarity. We do obviously have the moniker of what you've always wanted to become.
Yeah.
So what is the overriding emotion?
Relief.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm just relieved that that's over. And as you know, just come back from Vegas. Meetings have been done. And I now have a fight, which I can't announce, unfortunately. That's not my job. But at least we've got a date, we've got an opponent to work towards.
Yeah.
Everything's good. Very happy with that. And I can finally get my career going again.
When you process the title that you now hold, undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, and I don't know whether you've done this yet with your dad or your family or anything like that, whether you've had a moment to maybe just have a nice meal and a little bit of a glass of wine or something like that and just think, that's a lifetime's worth of work from, 8, 9 years of age since this journey began to now be classed as the thing that you always wanted to be. That must be some feeling.
You know what? I thought I was the champion anyway. I know I was the interim champion. But I don't know, I didn't really feel, I was more just relieved, right, that's done. I can fight again. To be honest, that's all I really wanted to do. Don't get me wrong, it is nice to be an undisputed champion. I would have rather took it from Jon Jones, the undisputed champion, though. But no, I've not really done that this time, to be honest. It's just like, I've got a fight day now, so I've got to train. I've got to get ready, I've got to get my life in order, I've got to get everything prepared for that, as opposed to, I don't know, I feel like as soon as you start thinking you're the man.
Yeah, fair.
Like, don't get me wrong, I do, and I have done for a while, believe that I'm the best heavyweight in the world. But it doesn't mean I can stop and celebrate what I've done. Like, I've got a lot of work to do, and I want to be as active as possible moving forward as well. So I'm not just working for the next fight, I'm working for the next 5 fights, and I have been doing that for the last year or so. So I won't really sit down and be like, yes, I'm the undisputed champion. Don't get me wrong, it's great, I'm relieved. But I'm more so relieved that I can actually just fight again.
So what does the next 12 months look like?
I'll be busy.
When you say busy though, you must have in your head what you can do.
Yeah.
Are you talking 3? Are you talking 4? In the next 12 months?
I'd like to do 4.
In the next 12 months?
I'd like to do 4, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how realistic that is because, see, the heavyweights are a little bit different. First of all, there's not as many of us, especially if you look at the top 10 now. I've beaten 6 of them now. My goal is to beat 10 at the top 10. I want to beat all 10. But it's a little bit different with the heavyweights because, first of all, there's not as many of us. Second of all, injuries happen a lot more with bigger guys. We're not as active as we are the smaller weights. But my goal is at least 3, maybe 4, between now and like the end of 26.
Okay,
yeah.
All right. So I was going to put it even shorter period of time, like because we're talking obviously in the middle of the summer now, right? International Fight Week's just happened. So from this point now till this point next year,
I think I'll have done 3 by then. Yeah, I think so.
Are you international globe trotting? Well, do you reckon you've got enough in those conversations? I think you have to be able to say, let's bring it back home, man. Let's do another one back home. Or do you think it will be the likes of the Vegases and the New Yorks and the internationals?
It's going to be a little bit more international, at least for the first. It's not going to be in the UK, the first one.
Yeah, well, there's nothing booked in between now and the end of the year. So I'm without giving dates away and stuff like that, I'm obviously you're going to be fighting on one of the international cards.
Yeah, yeah.
My target was maybe at the start of next year or something like that when they haven't got a schedule out that we could get you back home and celebrate for the fans.
Listen, if I could fight in the UK every fight, I would. Anyone who knows me personally knows travelling isn't my favourite thing in the world. So when you start playing around with time differences and stuff like that, it becomes tricky, you know what I mean? Flying across the world when you're on an 8-9 hour time difference and getting your body prepared and your mind prepared to fight somebody, it becomes tricky. So I would definitely rather fight at home, not to mention obviously the support, the fans and all that stuff. Saying that, I have a lot of fans. As you know, I just come back from Vegas. I've got fans all around the world now. It's not just in the UK, so I'm very...
Mr. Worldwide?
Mr. Worldwide.
Have you gone full pitbull?
Well, you see me with the sunglasses on, mate, for the event.
What are the pitfalls of this game, mate? What are the pitfalls? Because I'm sure when you were a kid, you had a dream of, I'm going to be the heavyweight champion of the world, I'm going to be this guy.
Yeah.
And then you're now living it. It's the reality. And as you just said, you've been in Vegas and there's been people around and all. What are the pitfalls that come your way that you've got to be aware of?
The pitfalls, I mean, just being in the public eye is difficult at times.
Because let's be honest, knowing you as I do, that's a side, you like normal life.
Yeah.
Not doing normal things. But this is a very non-normal gig.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of challenges that come along with it.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that you just have to kind of learn along the way. Don't get me wrong, I'm not frigging, I don't know, I'm not Taylor Swift. Do you know what I mean? I can still live a relatively normal life, but like, for example, if I want to go to the city and get some clothes, no matter what city it is, it's not as easy as just, moving through the airport is tricky. Doing anything publicly just becomes a little bit more tricky than it used to. And so, mate, sometimes most of the time it's great, but especially when I'm with my kids, especially because one of my kids is autistic, it does become a little bit more difficult to do stuff like publicly and stuff when you're trying to get from A to B. Hey, on the grand scheme of problems in the world, it's not that bad.
No, mentioning your kids there, because obviously your oldest child is probably coming of an age now where his mates at school are maybe talking to him about what his dad does and all those types of things. I know that you've got a brilliant and open relationship with him. Do you have to keep that constant in order just to keep him up to date with the things that are going on?
So I actually told him when I became undisputed champion.
Right.
Because he doesn't care at all.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'm just letting you know in case anyone mentions it at school. And he's just like, all right.
Okay.
So he wasn't that excited about it. But yeah, he's getting to an age now though where like
he understands what you're doing properly.
He understands what I'm doing. It's actually his birthday today. He's 9 today. And yeah, his friends are like, he's more into football and stuff like that. He's not really into MMA, but his friends are into it. People know who I am and stuff like that. So to be honest, because my oldest son's 9, I got in the UFC I think 6 years ago now. So he was kind of like, he got used to it as we went. And then my other kids, they're a lot younger. Yeah. So they're used to like, I guess being in the public eye anyway, so. I
can imagine you being out for like, maybe his mates out for a bit of tea or something like that. And he goes out with his friends' parents. So why is nobody coming over to the table and asking for autographs or pictures or anything like that?
I think they understand it, they're used to it.
But it is a very different way of life, isn't it? Especially for a young person to be able to try and understand what dad's doing. Because as you said, people are quite intrusive with...
They can be.
No. I don't think it's on purpose.
Yeah.
But let's say if you're a fan of this game and you turn up at a restaurant and you're there, most people are going to come over and try and ask for a picture or something, aren't they?
Yeah, and the thing is with me is like, I know a lot of fighters globally now.
Yeah.
Friends with a lot of fighters and stuff. Most fighters are like regular human being size. So they can kind of like wear a hat and blend in. Whereas because I'm like head and shoulders taller than everyone, it's like I automatically stand out anyway. And it's a lot harder for me to blend in, I guess. But
I want you to go incognito. Cat.
I've already got a big nose, wear glasses, and got a mustache. So
yeah, you've got the hit. You've got the Cluedo hit.
I'm already taking. I wore the hat before, but it doesn't really work for me.
Activity. Like you said, you've been through quite a lot of this top 10 in the heavyweight division. What are the challenges? What do you see there? Because I know that you study the heavyweights.
Yeah, I do.
So what are they? What is there that excites you?
Well, everything excites me. It's heavyweight MMA at the top level. Anything can happen. So just because I'm ranked number 1 in the world, the undisputed champion now, I'm not like, nobody can beat me. Because I know what the heavyweight division's like. And I know what MMA's like. Like you said before, I've been doing MMA since I was like a baby, near enough. So I know the rules of MMA. And when I say the rules, I don't mean the actual rules of punching. I know what can happen in a fight. Like, you're never further than like one strike away from disaster. There's a few guys I've not fought. I won't mention any names because they'll just clip it up and post it. But the guys who I've not fought know who they are, and they're the guys that I want to fight.
Well, I'm going to have to mention them.
Yeah, that's all right.
They can clip me up. So obviously, if I start to come down these rankings, one of the guys that you've not fought is Ciryl.
Yeah.
I know that you went to France.
I tried to
and stood.
So me and Ciryl, we obviously I'm English, he's French. Almost neighbouring.
Good observation.
Neighbouring countries.
Well done.
Anyone can see it. It's like neighbouring countries, aren't they? So what I'm saying though is like we're both European, aren't we? We've been supposed to fight each other a couple of times before.
Similar age as well. You were kind of both coming through, right? Well, he's a tiny bit older than you, isn't he?
I think he's a little bit older, and he has a couple more, or at least he started his career in the UFC a little bit earlier than I did. So when I was in, it was always like I was trying to fight him because he was like kind of just a little bit above me all the time. Fight never materialised. he turned me down a couple of times, to be honest.
Did you ever get to the reason as to why he did that?
I don't think he wanted to fight down the rankings. I think, don't know. And I get it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I get it. I'm a bad fight for everybody. It's a risky fight for everybody, so I understand why you wouldn't want to fight down the rankings as well, but I'm sure that fight's going to happen sooner or later. Couple more guys, do you want to mention them?
Yeah, Jailton Almeida.
Yep.
I mean, he's a guy that's making a little bit of noise.
Yep, I like it.
What do you make of him?
I like it. I think he's good. Yep. Took a loss to Blades.
Yeah.
But he looks good. I mean, there's not a lot of good heavyweights around. He looks decent, yeah.
What have you made of Volkov's resurgence since obviously fighting you, getting beat, and he's looked really good. Personally, I actually thought he came through the Gane fight, but you know, he's looked really good. Is that something that you think might be revisited?
I actually thought he won the Gane fight as well, to be honest. But I did think he won it. To be honest, knew how good Volkov was when I fought him. He's really good, mate. He's really, really good. I think he has improved since then. And I think we probably will rematch at some point. I would imagine so. I wasn't very good then in comparison to what I'm like now. So if we do rematch,
you'd be even more confident?
That'll be interesting. Don't get me wrong, there's never any two fights that are the same. But I think if you compare me now, comparing me to like 3 or 4 years ago, whenever that fight was, gotta remember that was like my first main event as well. Coming out that was my first time fighting in front of a crowd as well, so that was after the pandemic, so way different now, mate, than it was then. I think that fight will happen again, I would imagine. I think that Volkov's going to keep winning, and I think that fight will happen again at some point for sure.
What do you make of the new talent that's coming into the division? Obviously at the weekend we had the fight with Gaziev and Blades, which he came through.
Yep. I mean, the heavyweight division's not exactly on fire at the moment.
From a name point of view?
From a name point of view. I think the talent's there, but if you look 5+ years ago, just the name value in the top 15 was incredible. We're talking guys like Fabricio Verdun, Cain Velasquez, JDS, Mark Hunt, Alistair Overeem, Brock Lesnar, etc. Like the list of Stipe, the list goes on and on and on. Like you look through the top 15 and you're just like, wow, that is incredible. Whereas now even me who's a heavyweight, I look through the top 15 and I'm like, I'm not really seeing him fight before, do you know what I mean? So I think over the next few years that's going to change. There's going to be more big fights at heavyweight. People are going to become like more bigger names, which is great. Yeah, we just need more up and coming heavyweights doing a bit in the top 15.
Do you think then, because people are going to be watching this and they're going to be thinking, right, where's Tom's legacy fight going to be? Right? They could see the path of certain heavyweights that you could fight, but where's the one? Where's the one that jumps off the page? And maybe people like Alex Pereira's name will get mentioned, him coming up to heavyweight. He's got business maybe with Ankalaev maybe to do first. But that feels like something that could be tangible over the next 12 months.
Maybe. But to be honest, the way my mind works, I don't look at the bigger picture right now. I can't. Because as we said a minute ago, heavyweight MMA is crazy. If I start thinking about a friggin' legacy fight, and I've got to fight this other guy in the meantime, I can't do that.
How do you stay like that though? Because we get carried away.
Yeah.
And I suppose it's my job to get carried away and maybe try and paint pictures of what might happen down the line. How do you not do that?
Because...
What's in your makeup is what I'm trying to point at that keeps you like that.
Fear is in my makeup. Because I'm scared to lose to all of them. So if I'm scared to lose, like, if I'm looking at my next opponent, right, as I said, I can't say who it is, but if I'm looking at him and think, I'll just blast through this guy and then I'll have a legacy fight after that. Like that, I'm not going to be at my optimal performance if I'm just thinking, I'm just going to blast through him. I never ever think like that. It doesn't matter if I'm number 1 in the world or number 100 in the world. Like the guy I'm fighting next is the most dangerous guy that I'm ever going to have to fight. Like I'm scared of that person. I need to train and make sure I'm in a place physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually that I'm going to go and give my 100% everything to that guy. And I can't look beyond that because I don't want to lose.
Do you take a lot? For example, we were both in Vegas for UFC 317. Ilia Topuria puts in a sensational performance.
Yeah.
But it was the way that he carried himself throughout the course of the week that really blew me away. And in the aftermath, speaking to him and digesting why he was behaving like that, it's because I do not leave any stone unturned. I put the work in, I do the studying, I look at the tape. The work's done, the victory's done.
Yeah.
I've just got to turn up on a Saturday night because I've done the work 6, 8, 10 weeks previous. Does that resonate with you, that type of attitude and the way you're speaking?
Exactly the same. You know what, I think that my last few fights especially since I train at like an elite level, elite top level. I do everything right. And I actually find that if I was to lose, it's not like I'd be all right with it, because I wouldn't. I definitely wouldn't.
No.
But I could at least go like, I've done everything that I've done. I've done everything that there is to do. I give it 100% and I'm comfortable. Because, like I say, I turn up to those fights and I'm like, listen, I tried my best. All I've got to do is get in there and do what I do in the gym, because I've done everything that there is to do in the gym. I've done the diet, I've done the recovery, I've done the sparring, I've done the strength and conditioning, I've drilled all my techniques properly, I've done every single thing that I can do. And like, I can just show up and just be like, right, I'm confident, this is me, I'm going to show up and do my thing. And if it doesn't come off and disaster does happen, then that's fine.
I'm so glad that you've said this, because a lot of people can take inspiration from what you've just said. As you know, my kids train, right? And the thing I say to them all the time is, detach yourself away from the result.
Yeah.
Forget the result. Have you done the work? Everything else will take care of itself.
Yeah.
Whether it's your turn or it's somebody else's turn, that's done.
Exactly.
You're at peace with the process because of the work, is what you're kind of alluding to there.
You know what? Exactly that, and something else that I see. Everyone's different, aren't they? It's a very subjective sport, MMA. Everyone's completely different. Everyone has different mindsets and stuff like that. With me personally, like, my mindset is, like I say, do everything that I can do. Go in there, I'm stress-free. I mean, I've obviously got the stress of, I've got to fight someone in front of millions of people, but the other stuff, like, I've done it, I'm good. And now I take the stress off the result. Don't think about winning and losing. I just think, right, done what I needed to do, let's go and enjoy it. Let's go in there and enjoy myself. And if I enjoy myself, I'm probably going to win anyway, because I've done absolutely everything there is to do. I feel like I'm the best in the world. And if I love it, which I do, and I take the stress of winning or losing away, I can go in there and put a clinic on. And since I've been doing that, mate, that's when you see these 1 minute knockouts. Because I'm not throwing any punches like, right, this one, I'm going to drop in with this. It's literally like, mate, I'm just moving around, I'll throw a shot out and they go over. And I believe that, like, that's a solid 80, 90% mindset.
Is that your biggest strength?
It's my biggest strength, for sure. Yeah. No, do you know what my biggest strength is? I think a lot of people, they'll look at me and think, oh, he's fast, he's big, whatever.
They look at physical aspects.
People look at the physical aspects.
Yeah.
My biggest strength is I make really, 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 really good decisions in the split second.
But that is surely down to
the
repetition.
mental side of it. To the mental side of it.
But to the repetition of, you've built that though. That's not something that...
No, that's done from years and years and years in the gym as well. But if you're not relaxed mentally, you can't do that. You'll stiffen up. So it's a combination of both.
Have you always been like that? Or is that something that you've had to learn over a period of time?
That's something that I've learned over a period of time, yeah.
How'd you learn that?
Practice, visualization, running through the motions, trying to literally thinking, I'm going to enjoy myself. Keep reminding yourself, like me, you got to remember, I've had a lot of fights. Don't get me wrong, I'm living comfortably now financially and stuff, but I've had a lot of fights where I didn't get paid anything.
Yeah.
So now I'm like living my dream. So I've got to remind myself that, look, I am living my dream. This is what I do. This is what I enjoyed doing for all these years for free. Now I'm getting paid a lot of money for it. Let's go and enjoy it a bit more.
So this is interesting that you're saying this. So are you naturally, forget all the training that you've done now, right? Naturally as a lad, are you naturally that glass half full, or are you half empty?
Depends what mood you catch me in.
Just in general, what are you? Would you initially look at the negative of something rather than the positive?
I think I'd look at the positive, but I don't know.
But is that because you've trained that?
I don't know. I'm not sure. Don't know.
I'm just trying to get into the mindset of whether what you're saying, other people can look at that and you can, through repetition, get to the process of going. That then becomes a natural way of thinking, which it obviously is now.
Yeah.
But when you started this journey, were you that person?
No, I was nowhere near that. No. All I wanted to do was win as quickly as possible and get it done. Now, mate, I just love the process. I just fell in love with the process of fighting and being in there, because Each fight now, mate, I know I'm only 32, but I'm close to the end than I'm the beginning. Now, I'm in the second half of my career for sure, 100%. Don't know when I want to retire. It's not going to be any time. It's not going to be in the next 3 fights at least, but I know that I'm closer to the end than I am the beginning. And I just think, look, these moments are really special, you know? Like, they're really, really special moments. There's not everybody. I seen some quote the other day on Instagram, and don't quote me on this because I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it was like 1% of people do martial arts, 1% of that 1% compete, and 1% of that 1% compete at the elite level, or something like that. So we're talking about a very, 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 very low percentage of human beings walking around on planet Earth get to experience what I experience regularly.
Yeah.
And I don't have many of those experiences left. So I try and go and just eat it up and just love it.
How much do you take from other champions? Because, again, I don't want this to become like a name-dropping exercise, but I was speaking to Alexander Volkanovski last week, and I know that you're quite close to him. And he was talking about pressure being a privilege and embracing that. And very similar to what you've just said there. I ain't got many of these left, man. So absolutely enjoy that pressure. Because in 10 years from now, when I'm sat on my rocking chair or whatever and maybe talking to my kids about certain things, that will no longer be my life.
Yep, and Volk is the man. Volk is the... Talking about normal guys.
But do you pick his brain, for example, or other champions' brains and things like that?
My two go-to guys, who I'll listen to for advice, are GSP and Volk.
It's not a bad list of guys, that to be fair,
No, but just on a personal level, they are just like the most... When I say regular, I mean in the best way possible.
Yeah.
When I say regular guys, I mean that in the top of the top regular guy.
Yeah.
These guys.
Like you look at them and you think, I want to lead my life like that. That's what I want to do.
Exactly. I want to live exactly. And they just told me the same stuff. Just enjoy it, get in there, do your thing, let your training take over, enjoy the moments while they're there. And I just try and do that. I think that's when, like I said before, it's very subjective sport. Everyone's very different in MMA. You get guys thinking that the gladiators go into the gladiators to the Colosseum and they're going to die in there. Me personally, I don't adopt that mentality at all. I'm going in there doing a sport and I'm going in there to enjoy it, and that's when I do my best.
Well, the two guys that you've just mentioned there, GSP has always spoken about it being a sport.
Yeah.
He's not necessarily a fighter per se. He's a sportsman. He's an athlete competing in martial arts. And Volk, well, he played other sports. That's what he is. He views it purely as competition. So there's obviously that common trait between the pair of you.
Yeah.
All three of you, should say.
Yeah. I think everyone's different.
Yeah.
You'll speak to another fighter and they'll say, that's ridiculous. This is a fight. This is life or death. They're trying to take money away from my kids, blah, blah, blah. Don't get me wrong, there's that aspect of it as well. Listen, the way I see it, there's two guys in there. There's three, including the referee.
Yeah.
But two guys who are fighting each other. It's me or him. Simple as that. One of us has to go down. It's rather him than me. That's the way I look at it. Other than that, it's a sport. I'm doing it for a sport. I'm just trying to get in there. Hopefully we'll both leave safely. One of us will get our hands raised. We'll shake hands. We'll go back to our families, and that's the way I look at it.
Are you a man of visualization?
All the time. All day, every day.
Just in life in general? Or?
Yeah.
Okay. From an overthinking point of view, or just from right, this is what's going to happen. I'm going to put these stones in place for me to walk.
You know what? Everyone thinks that they're an overthinker, don't they? Oh, I'm a massive overthinker. What's wrong with overthinking?
It depends the type of thinking, though, isn't it? If you're overthinking from a negative point of view...
It is. I know what you mean. But I think it's a natural thing to do, isn't it? It's to overthink stuff. Repetition in that. Mental repetition is almost as good as physical repetition, in my opinion. I'm just a natural, daydreamer anyway.
Yeah. So you're driving the car, your mind will be thinking about whatever.
All day, every day. If I've got a fight booked in, mate, that's all I'm thinking about most of the day. That's great. Love it.
Excellent. Give me more on that. So most people, when they talk about visualization, when I speak to them from a fight point of view, I've always been having that conversation where they're thinking about how a fight's going to play out. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. You've kind of just said the opposite of that because you've done the work. I've done the planning. Whatever problem is presented to me in the moment, I make those split, quick decisions to be able to deal with the scenario.
Yeah.
What other stuff do you visualize? For example, when you fought Volkov first time,
yes,
that was in front of 20,000 people. You've never done that before.
No.
Were you visualizing that? Was that part
Yeah, but I don't like. I feel like people say, "Oh, do you do visualizing? Like, are you sat there with like some weird music on, sage burning, and crystals on you, and you think?"
No, I don't.
It's not like that.
No, I'm not meaning.
It isn't like that. It's just I'm just thinking about it. Like I say, I'll be driving, I'll be walking along, I'll be running, I'll be doing bits of training. I'm just thinking about the walkout, thinking about what's going to happen in the fight, how I'm going to feel.
It's just mentally preparing yourself for that
mentally
moment.
Preparing yourself, yeah, exactly, yeah. It's pretty.
I need to see you in a field with sage going.
No, there's none of
That's
that.
just reminded me of when you were dipping your hands in petrol and everybody took it dead serious.
No, there's none of that goes on. No, it's just literally just thinking as I'm doing regular stuff. But I can't help myself. I'm obsessed with MMA, so it goes. I don't have to put aside time to think, right, this is my time when I'm going to visualize. It isn't like that.
Yeah.
My mind's just going anyway.
How much are you enjoying this journey alongside your dad? That it's been able to go from obviously the garage to now the biggest stage in the world.
It's great. I obviously love my dad. But aside from that, anyone who knows my dad personally just knows that he's like a great person to be around anyway. So just being able to share stuff like trips to Vegas, big fights, big moments in the octagon, big moments outside the octagon, financial security for both of us, it's fantastic. You know, just stuff like that. But it's not only just me that's worked hard. It's my dad that's worked hard as well. Not only in the gym, he's also my manager as well. He also deals with a lot of commercial stuff, and
that must help as well, because in this game there's a lot of sharks, and I'm sure that when you become the champion of the world, a lot of people want to play out with the champion of the world. Maybe because they see 10% here or 15% here that they can cream off. Knowing that you've got somebody that ain't here for those reasons, that is here just purely for love and guidance, that must give you an awful amount of peace of mind as well.
It does, because I know that, like you say, he's in it for the right reasons. He's not trying to get clout or money from it, which is it's great. I feel like I've said it a million times. Like if my dad wasn't doing it, I wouldn't be doing it. If he turned around tomorrow and said that he doesn't want to do it anymore, I'd retire.
Seriously?
Yeah, because it's just our thing, isn't it? It just works well. Both of us. I wouldn't want another coach. Or don't get me wrong, I've got other coaches. I've worked with a million coaches in my career.
Yeah.
And I continue to adjust things with the team and add somebody in and take. You know what I mean? It's constantly evolving. You got to keep moving with this MMA thing, but the one that stays around is my dad through anything.
What I would love to do is to watch you two watching tape and picking a fight. How does that process work? Because I reckon it'll be something like, like Morecambe and Wise comedy from back in the day, like two Northerners just picking the brains.
It's straightforward.
So you watch tape together, or does he watch it and you watch it separately?
I don't watch as much tape as I used to, because my opponents are a lot more popular now than the opponents that so I'm already quite familiar with them anyway.
Yeah.
Like you're a heavyweight in the top 10 in the UFC, I'm watching you. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Because they're of interest to me. Whereas before it would be like I'd have to research and pull up this fight. Oh, this fight's 5 years old. Oh, this, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. But now it's like I know everyone anyway. So yeah, I'll watch them a bit before we fight. Especially in fight week, I like to watch them a bit more. But mainly my dad's job is to watch the guys.
And is that done at the start of the camp and then away you go?
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much. I watch mostly in I watch mostly in fight week. That's when I do my watching.
Your visualization, man.
Do my visualization, but my dad watches throughout, and he'll add bits into the training subconsciously that I won't know of.
Going back to the comparisons or the similarities between yourself and Ilya, you're leveling up.
Yeah.
To the point where new facilities and new training partners and getting things. How important is that when you are at the top, not to rest on your laurels, to keep trying to push to the next level, bringing in new training partners, bringing in new things?
Yeah, I mean, Ilya's, if I'm compared to Ilya, that's fantastic. I think he's a bit further on than I am at the moment.
But from a mindset, there's a similarity. I can see it.
He's incredible. Well, I think the thing that's happening with me is that, again, not Taylor Swift, not claiming to be, but training publicly is becoming a bit more difficult. So privately, is more convenient. And I mean, I absolutely love the fact, like a lot of people relate to me as in personally, which is amazing. People champ kind of vibes, which is great. But also when I'm in the gym, I got to train, man.
It's work time.
I gotta work, and people asking for selfies in between rounds isn't ideal. And when I'm training, can I swear on this thing or not?
You can do what you want.
I am a bit of a dick because it's really important to me. Like if I'm walking down the street,
it's the only place that you are a bit though.
Yeah,
You've got to
I have to be.
Yeah.
I know exactly what I need to do to fight at the elite level. And don't get me wrong, if you're the other time that I'll be a dick to you, and this is anyone watching out there, if I'm with my children and you take a picture without my consent, there might be hands flying, because I've been close to that a few times as well. Like we were talking before about the public stuff.
Yeah.
Don't take pictures of my kids without consent. But that's a horrendous thing to do. I hate that. Come over and ask me for a picture. Even if I am with the kids, I'll probably say yeah. And if I don't, it's for good reason. So just putting that out there. But yeah, when I'm training, that is my everything. For that 1 to 2 hours that I'm in the gym, work needs to be done, man. And my full focus isn't on the work if someone's over the side taking pictures of me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that comes back to what you were saying before about those processes that you need to go through in order to give yourself the confidence to then turn up and enjoy yourself on
exactly
the night that everybody's bought a ticket for.
Exactly. So yeah, but I'm the kind of person as well, when we talk about training partners and stuff, I want to be worked in the gym hard. I don't want to be comfortable in the gym.
Yeah.
Get comfortable in the gym, man. You're not going to be too comfortable out there in the cage when people are punching and kicking you and wrestling you to the floor. So I want to be as uncomfortable in the gym as possible, even though it's grim. Like, it's a grim situation, mate. Day after day after day for 8 to 10 weeks going in and getting battered off a load of beasts. But
is that why you go and train with people like Rico?
Yeah, of course it is.
You make that choice because he's the best kickboxer in the world. Let's go get me a kick.
Exactly. Rico's unbelievable kickboxer, literally the best kickboxer to ever do it. A lot better than me. I'm not a kickboxer. So I'll put myself in that situation. I'll go there and I'll take these beatings and try and learn from it, just to feel what it feels like.
That's like being humbled every single day of your life.
It's got to be done.
Is that what martial arts is for you? To face those types of challenges every single day, so you're prepared for whatever comes your way?
Yeah, you have to. You can't. I don't want to walk into a room, mate, and be like, know that I don't have to work. Like, mate, this morning, we got like 3 UFC heavyweights in the room.
Yeah.
Really high level guys. And like, I can't just walk in. Like, I got back from Vegas yesterday. Obviously, we're talking like 12 hours travel.
Yeah.
I've been eating a few burgers and that last week, having a few beers. I'm going to show up here this morning like I did. I'm going to be exhausted, and they're going to be getting the better of the rounds. Like, and I know if I carry on living like I lived last week when I'm in Vegas, and I eat a burger tonight, and I eat a pizza tomorrow, I'll be getting my ass kicked for the rest of the week. And I don't want to. It's not very fun. It's not fun at all. So I want to walk into a gym. That's how I'm motivated personally. Is I'm motivated by having people around me who are going to kick my ass if I'm not on form.
Yeah.
That's what motivates me, and being in those uncomfortable situations. If I walk in the gym, mate, got 10 guys on and I could beat them in my sleep, what's the point in being there? It's a waste of an hour.
Finding the right mentality of the person as well that you work with is an important thing. Someone that wants to prove themselves against you as well.
Yeah. Well, I'm the top guy in the heavyweight division now. We have other UFC heavyweights literally in the same gym.
They're gauging their level against you.
Flown in.
I like it.
To spar with me. So I've got to be on form. They want to see, right, he's the heavyweight champion. Where am I at? I know, because I've done it a million times when we talk about guys like Rico. Yeah. Talking about guys like Tyson Fury, talking about guys, I've sparred with all kinds of guys in all different disciplines. I'm showing up and seeing, right, where's my kickboxing at against the best kickboxer in the world? And they're doing the same. Right, I'm in the UFC, I'm a ranked heavyweight. How am I going to go with the best heavyweight in the world? Let's see. And I've got to be ready to show them. Do you know what I mean? Every day. And that's what keeps me really motivated.
To finish off then, 3 fights between now and next year.
Yes.
Maybe 4 by the end of 2026. You're a visualization type of guy. How long does this journey go on for?
That's a great question. That's probably the toughest question you've asked me today. I don't know, because I want to retire from the sport before it retires me. And as we chatted about before, I've been around a lot of fighters now, and I can see how that wears on the body over time, mentally and physically.
Yeah.
I don't want to get to the spot where it affects my everyday life, and that can happen quite easily. Obviously, I'm carrying my own injuries. I'm a lifetime martial artist. I'm carrying injuries, of course, that are probably going to bother me for the rest of my life. But I don't want to keep bashing my body forever if I can help it. So, to answer the question, I don't really know.
But you will know when.
I will know. When I do start to feel like that, I'll be making the call. Yeah.
You'll enjoy the fruits, man.
I'll be enjoying it though as well. Don't worry about that.
Listen, I think from everybody watching this, we're just absolutely delighted that there's clarity.
Thank you.
Congratulations. But I know that there's work to be done and that you're thirsty for that work, mate.
Yep. Thanks,
Looking forward to getting back to work.